Hundreds of protesters in Israel have protested outside the private home of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Tel Aviv to demand the release of captives being held in Gaza. Some demonstrators set up tents with pictures of their missing relatives. Anti-government rallies have intensified across Israel in recent weeks. There is mounting frustration against Netanyahu's government for failing to secure a deal to release the remaining captives. He's a few houses away, and look, we're hopeful that he will find in himself the ability to be in dialogue with us. We're not protesting here, we're not demonstrating, we're simply reaching out to say enough is enough. There is a solution on the table. There are all the forces in the world to help us reach a deal and to bring these people back home, and we have to have our voice heard on that. And we are here to make our voice heard, and if he can sleep quietly, then we cannot, and we need to show that, said one protester. I speak to Laura Khan. She's in occupied East Jerusalem. Laura, anger and frustration have been mounting for some time against the Israeli government. Are we heading to a tipping point, do you think? Well, there's certainly a pressure cooker on Benjamin Netanyahu at the moment. We had dozens of people camping outside his home in Caesarea, north of Tel Aviv, last night. We've reached out to the families of captives there and those in solidarity with them. It's a big movement. They said they're still there, they're not moving, and they're waiting for Netanyahu to come out to speak to them. They say he's dragging his feet on the issue of releasing captives, and he has two priorities that are in contradiction with one another. One of them is to continue tough military pressure on Hamas until it's defeated in Gaza. The other is to release the captives. They say the latter is putting their lives in peril, it's putting their lives in danger, so they now want to put the pressure on Netanyahu. One of them is on hunger strike, one of the fathers of a captive, and they released a very strong statement. We've begged you this on Friday for 105 days. Now we're demanding to stop the executions of hostages. It's about freeing hostages, and it's about saving lives. But it's not just there that he's under pressure. There have been weeks of protests, particularly in Tel Aviv in Hostage Square, from tens of thousands of people. Many have switched from just calling for the release of captives to calling for a ceasefire, demanding a ceasefire in order to release them. Not just there, but also inside his own war cabinet that was handpicked by him. And many are not going along with the party line. They're also saying you cannot defeat Hamas militarily in a short amount of time. You need to focus on the hostages. We've also had international pressure, as Alan Fisher, our reporter, has just mentioned, from the US but also from Russia, a delegation from